guys. So we're gonna need to catch up a little bit. The last day we were on was day 2, and it's now day 9. So day 3, that whole day was me setting up Facebook and Instagram posts, and then I was supposed to do a video here, but I didn't get to it. I did do a video on my TikTok, and then I was also learning how to do SkySlope, which is the application we use for all of our contacts online and everything. Then we met with the Washington State broker for EXP, and that's when we found out that the Washington DOL is down, so they're only doing things by paper. So I had to then get all the paperwork to fill out by hand and then mail into the DOL. So that was fun, kind of learning that because of this, it's not going to be automatic. They don't even know that I've done my fingerprints, that kind of stuff. I have to just mail everything to them. So day 4, I just took a couple of different classes that EXP offers. Day 5 was just, mailing in the application after I'd finished filling it all in and that stuff. Day 6, we figured out my marketing, so we picked our colors, the fonts, the logo. I am having a marketing person create it, so it looks really nice, just because I didn't have to do it. Because if I had to do it, I know it probably wouldn't be that nice. So if you're going to be a realtor, it's really important that the marketing stuff is on point, you look professional, that kind of stuff. So, just go ahead and pay for it. It's gonna get you more deals in the long run rather than looking like you just threw it together. And then day 7 is after EXP had accepted my application and all of the paperwork showing that I had mailed the paperwork to the DOL. So once they did that, that's when I got my email and I got logged into their back end and their websites and all that stuff. I got added to the MLS. Then day 8 was figuring out kind of more of what we want my business cards to look like, that kind of stuff. And I got set up on this app called Ring Central, which is what I guess they use for their business phones. So I technically have a business phone number, but I'm just going to use my regular phone number. And then through my business phone number, that stuff would all come through the app. So I would get phone calls and texts through that app. And I looked through it. It's actually kind of interesting. You can set up like video phone calls and that all stuff through that app as well. And then today is day 9. So Sunday, I'm just going to be hanging out with my kids, that kind of stuff. What I did want to say, though, is once you guys are ready to get into real estate and that kind of stuff, it's not going to take you the 10 days it's taking me to get everything done and signed on and stuff. You're going to be coming on the point where DOL is back up and running, so you're not going to have any issues with having to do paperwork and having to do it all through the mail and that kind of stuff. You guys are going to be able to just do it online and it to go through. So all the stuff that I've done is probably going to be your day 1, day 2, day 3, not, all the way up till day 8. And then day 10 for me is probably going to be your, day 3, day 4. So that's really when everything starts and you get to start to hit the ground running, as they say, So day 10 is Monday, and so that's the day that I'm going to be on a Zoom call with my... Okay, so as I was saying, day 10 is most likely going to be your day 4, right? Where what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing a Zoom with my broker, or not my broker, my sponsor. And she's going to show me how to step-by-step use my MLS, because I've never done that before. We're going to start going over listing presentations and buyer consults, so that's really going to be the day where we get all the work done. We're going to learn how to do everything, that kind of stuff, or I'm going to learn, she's going to show me. And we've also started interviewing mentors. I know that she's interviewed a couple. I've really only talked to one so far. So I know that she asked me to make a list of everything that I think is important in, a mentor, because you have to have a mentor for your first 3 transactions. Okay, so she wants me to make a list of everything that's important in a mentor to me. Because everyone, what they want and how they learn is different. And so I'll be doing that, and then we'll kind of be interviewing the mentors together, probably in a Zoom or something, and kind of checking off the list as we go, scoring them, who gives me most of what I want and that kind of stuff. And then she told me is that once we do that, we're going to send them that list of everything I've said that I want and is necessary to me, and have them initial it, and that they agree that that's what they're going to be doing. And so that later on, if they don't hold up, their part of the bargain, if they're not mentoring me how I want to be mentored, that then I'll be taking that to the broker and being like, this is what they agreed to, they signed here, but this is not what they're doing. I need a new mentor. Because you do need a mentor for your first 3 transactions. So no matter what I go about it, I have to have someone local to me. And, I think that's a good idea, because it'd be nice to, have someone in person, be able to go through all the contracts, show me how to do stuff. Also, ideally, I'd like to, shadow them on one of their listing presentations, or shadow them on their buyer consults, Just because I learn so much more by watching and doing rather than reading about it or Zooming about it. It's so much different to see someone else do it in person, And my sponsor, she can teach me so much, but she can't teach me anything that's state specific, because she's not in my state, So I do need someone in my state that's going to be able to answer all those questions for me and tell me about the laws in Washington that I have to follow. They're going to be different than hers, that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited about that, and it's been so nice, actually. Like, we had a really long conversation, me and just my sponsor. We talked for probably just an hour and a half, everything that's going on with me, what's going on with my husband, what's going on with our family life, if I'm stressed out or not, everything that's going on. And it was really nice, because as a new person, changing careers and getting into stuff, like, I get really bad anxiety, so it's nice to have a sponsor that's going to reach out to me and be like, okay, well, we're going to talk about how you're feeling this day, because we want it to be smooth and calm and not have any issues. So if you are looking for a sponsor, really, really interview them, because I interviewed so many, and it's getting a feel for who's actually going to be involved and care about how you're doing, but also they can't care about how you're doing more than you care. Yeah, so your sponsor can't care more than you do. Your mentor's not going to be able to care more than you do, So if they don't sense that you care, they're not going to be as willing to help and step up and do things with you, But if you're all involved and you're all in it, definitely interview a bunch of different sponsors, just so you know, who's going to work for me, who's going to, feel like someone comfortable enough that I can reach out and I can tell them what's going on with my life, or I can tell them, I need help with this, it's stressing me out, or, like someone that's going to understand and listen. And, it's been so helpful. She understands me a lot. She got married young, I got married young, we had kids young, we're young getting into this, and she's like 12 years older than me, so it's nice being able to talk to someone who's been through exactly what I'm going through at the moment, and that kind of stuff. And because it is such a big adjustment going from staying at home to working and that kind of stuff, and everyone around you has to adjust too, because they're used to you doing so much, and priorities are shifting, and every workloads are shifting, and so it's just kind of stressful for everyone involved. So one thing that she said that really stuck with me is you are wanting everyone around you to give you grace to be able to start this and not be doing all the work that you used to do around the house and that kind of stuff. And what you forget is that, yeah, you want to be all in this, but not everyone else around you is ready for you to be all in it. So you need to give them the grace that you expect from them, So that really stuck with me, and I kind of realized, how I've been treating my husband, and, how I've been kind of treating the people around me, where it's kind of like, oh, well, I'm doing this and I need to be in it, you know, kind of just ignoring everyone else. And it's like, it really opened my eyes to, you know, I wouldn't appreciate that. You know, it's like, you know, I mean, like, they had said something to me, but you just don't get it, I guess, until you hear it from someone else, especially people that you respect, you know. And so that's why today I'm just doing this video, and then it's going to be time with my kids. We're probably going to go to Catapult, you know, do some jumping on the trampolines, that kind of stuff. You know, whatever we want to do as a family, and remembering, you know, how important that is, rather than just, oh, I need to work, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to do this. Yeah, it is important, but since I'm just starting, I can start slow, you know. And we're used to me being a stay-at-home mom, so we're not used to me bringing in any money, you know. So it's fine if I take it slow, because we'll get there and we'll build from that. And we just need to remember that I don't have to jump straight into things, because I have noticed that that's kind of, you know, an issue with me, is I do have anxiety about stuff. So it's kind of like when I'm starting something new, I just head dive into it, so I don't have time to get anxiety about it. I don't have time to question it. Yeah, so right now, it's, for me, it's slowing down and remembering that there's other stuff going on, because I know that is part of my anxiety, where I just kind of dive into stuff so that I don't have to question it or think about it, you know. And 1 second, gosh, I need to, sorry, trying to open the juice with one hand was not working. But basically, knowing that I dive into things, and that's kind of not fair to everyone around me, you know, and realizing that I kind of need to take a step back and remember that this is starting something new, and that I can't just dive into stuff because I have other stuff going on around me, you know. And just learning how to breathe and calm down a little, you know. And, you know, understanding that I will get anxiety about it, and that's okay. And I have, you know, my husband to talk to, and my sponsor to talk to, you know. So that was just a really, really nice conversation. And it helps me to know that the person that I'm working with and that's teaching me understands where I'm coming from, and is, you know, invested in how I'm feeling and how I'm doing, you know. And I feel like that's important, and I feel like not every sponsor is like that, because I told you I interviewed so many, you know, and once you have interviewed a couple, that's when you can kind of feel the difference between the people that care about you and the people that care about your number, you know. And I'm really glad that once I got that gut feeling, that I was like, no, let's change this up, you know. Because I was going to join, you know, a different brokerage, and then I just got that weird feeling that, like, it wasn't correct. And then I followed that, you know, finally found, you know, the brokerage that was good, and then since then I've been kind of trusting that feeling a little bit more, and kind of going, okay, well, who gives me the feeling of security, and who gives me that feeling that it's gonna be good to work with them, and that kind of stuff. And when you're talking to them, you know, get a feel for how they talk, how they explain things, you know, because that's gonna be important. They're gonna explain things to you. They're gonna, you know, I mean, they're gonna criticize you a little bit, but it's gonna be, you know, to build you up and to make you stronger. And if when they do that, it doesn't sound like they're trying to build you up, and it's not helping you, and it's coming from a tone of voice that you know that you're not going to be able to take well, or that as soon as they say anything that you're going to hate it and you're going to dig in your heels, you know, that's not the person to go with. So what I'm trying to say is, yeah, your brokerage is important, yeah, your mentor is important, but I feel like your sponsor is the most important, because that's the person that you're going to have beyond your first 3 transactions. That's the person that you're going to have forever. You can't change who your sponsor is. You know, that's who your sponsor is. So I feel like that's important. And I feel like they don't tell you, oh, like, go interview everyone. You know, like, they tell you, oh, whoever talked to you about EXP, that's who you're supposed to join. Well, I mean, yeah, like, it'd be nice to do that for them, you know, but you need to be thinking about yourself and what's best for you. Yeah, you get a mentor, but that's only for 3 transactions. Yeah, you have a state broker, but that's for the 2,000 other people that live in your same state, that are working for EXP at that time. So I feel like your sponsor is more important, and the person that convinced me to join EXP is not my sponsor. I really like her. We're friends now, I talked to the group she's in, and it was just, I could just tell that the group wasn't for me, and I wish her all the best of luck, and I hope she does great, but I knew that wasn't going to work for me, and that's what you need to do, and you need to listen to that gut feeling, because what's going to work for you is most important. Who's ever going to build you up and who's going to help you get as far as you want to get, that's the most important. And I'm probably just rambling at this point, but it's important. So it is a new career, and it is starting a business, and having that support is really important. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, or kind of the stuff that you should be asking when you're asking a broker or a sponsor, you can comment that and I'll respond, or you can just Google that too. That's what I did. I just Googled, hey, like, what am I supposed to be asking these people? And also remember that it's not going to be what I want in a sponsor, and it's not going to be what Google thinks you want in a sponsor. It's going to be what you want in a sponsor. Just like your mentor is going to have to be what you want, and yeah, you can get assigned a random mentor, but talk to your state broker. Let them know that you want to interview the different mentors. Let them know that you're involved in this. You're not just another number. You need to pick who's going to be best for you. And if you go to them and you're like, hey, like, one second. If you go to them and you're like, hey, like, I'm new here, I'm just starting, I really like a list of mentors that I can interview and see who's going to be best for me. They're not going to be like, no, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm glad that you're taking initiative, that you're involving yourself in this, rather than just having me send you a random mentor, And that's something that my sponsor taught me as well, because I was talking to other people, and no one mentioned, interviewing sponsors. No one, or interviewing mentors. No one even brought that up to me. And that was one of the reasons that I liked her too, because I could tell that she was thinking ahead already. I wasn't even in her group, and she was trying to give me advice and trying to be like, this is what you should go for. And even if you don't pick me, this is an important step, and that kind of stuff, And like I said, part of the reason I chose her is because she was teaching me stuff in our interview. I was just asking her questions, and she was like, oh, let me show you, screen shared, brought me onto the website, was showing me everything. And it's like, no one else was showing me that. They were just talking. They weren't really doing anything. Some of the other people weren't even talking. They would just turn on a video and be like, okay, there you go. Like our team? No, I don't even know who you are. You just showed me a video, and don't listen to all the like, oh, well, I'll buy you leads, and oh, well, I'll put referrals under your name so you get that money. And it's like, okay, that's nice, and those are perks, but what are they doing for you? What are they going to teach you? And I'd rather have a sponsor that's going to teach me how to get those leads than buying them for me. And then once they're like, okay, well, it's been a year, good luck, then I'm like, oh, fuck, like, how do I get leads, And that's important, too. So, yeah, they can give you perks and they can do all this stuff, but what's more important is how they're going to teach you, how you're going to learn. Because you're not going to have them all the time to support you, and sure, in the first year, yeah, first couple months, yeah, they might be buying you leads, and they might be doing this for you and that for you, but after that, they're not going to be. Who's going to be there for you? Just you. So you need to know everything by then, or you're going to find an awesome sponsor like I did, and she's going to feel like family, and you're going to develop a relationship like that, and I respect her so much that, even if real estate didn't work out for me, even if real estate didn't work out for me and I decided to do something else, I know that I could call her about anything, and she'd help me out. What's up? Do you want your food? You want to sit up here? Okay. you know, and I feel like that's important because, you know, real estate is also relationships. So you need to be able to build relationships. You need to be able to talk to people. You want to watch? You say hi? You know, so you need to be able to build that relationship. You need to be able to talk to your sponsor and that stuff. Because no one else is going to understand real estate and understand your job because no one else does it. So talk to them, you know? So cute. You know, and remember what's best for you and what's important to you is what's important. So don't let someone else talk you out of that. Don't let someone scare you into joining their team, you know, because that happened to me this week. So I started doing like the mentor interviews, right? And I put it out there like, hey, I'm looking to interview mentors. So if you're taking on any mentees, like message me, you know? And I got this message from this agent and she was like, hey, like I am a mentor right now, you know, but I'm also starting a team. So let's talk about my team. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, let's talk, you know. And she was like, oh, well, mentors don't get paid enough to be mentoring people, so that's why they don't put it in their all. Or, oh, well, you know, Washington's really hard on finding mentors right now. Oh, and in Washington, you know, with COVID restrictions, no one's going to want to meet in person, you know. Don't let someone like that.
Mommy.
Huh. I will. I'll let you in. Don't let someone like that put fear in your heart where you didn't have fear before. Because she was just hitting on all my anxiety, and then she was like, oh, come join me. You know, I'll do all that stuff for you. You know, that kind of stuff. And so I was getting so nervous and so worried about it that I called my sponsor, and I was like, what? What do I do, you know? And then she was like, let me have a conversation with her. Let's us see. So, you know, so we did a 3-way call last night, and she listened to everything, and then we got off the phone, and she was like, she seems like a really nice lady, you know? She's like, but I don't think you need this, you know? She's like, we've been talking for, you know, over a week now, and I've listened to your personality and see how you learn. Okay, спасибо. And so she was like, you know, I don't think that's really the best fit for you, but let's interview everyone else and see where we're leaning, what we think, you know, and okay. And she kind of, you know, reminded me that you have all these other people that you can interview. Don't take the word of just one person. And she calmed me down so much, you know, and then that's when we went into the whole, like, hour-and-a-half conversation about just life. And so, you know, even if it's not going to be your sponsor that calms you down and talks you through things, you know, it's important to have that support. It's important to have someone. And yeah, that can be your spouse, you know, and my spouse is super, super supportive, you know, but also we're having tension from him figuring out a new job, me figuring out a new job, figuring out, you know, who's with the kids, that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of, you know, tension there of everyone being stressed out. So it's really good to have a third party, you know, it's not involved. And, you know, I can call my mom and I can complain all I want, you know, but me complaining doesn't mean that that's what's actually going on, because, you know, I overreact, and, you know, I don't want her to get like a view of, oh, well, maybe this isn't the right thing for you since you're being so stressed out about it. You know, you need someone that's gone through it before, that's like knows what's going on, knows that why you're stressed out, and is going to help you through that. I think that's all I've got for today, though. Happy Sunday, and I'm sure we'll talk tomorrow. It'll probably be in the evening after I've done everything, just because I know that we're going to really get into it. I have my orientation tomorrow. I have the Zoom call with her tomorrow, so tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Yeah. So, have a good Sunday. All right. Bye.